All right, so let's actually take a look at one of the examples here. So this example gives you a function and then said, what's the value of the inverse when x equals 3? Okay, and so basically I'm thinking about that little chart that I just set up, right, that I'm thinking about f of x and the inverse, and I actually don't even know what the function is, and to be honest with you, I don't care. Okay, so I need to think about what is the value when x equals 3. Well, that means that I know this is 3, right? So that means that over here, whatever this x value is, what's the y value when that x value is happening, right? So this is essentially the question. And so I need to figure out when does the original function equal 3, because that would tell me the x value that's happening at, and then I can figure out the corresponding point, right? So if I set this up, this is going to tell me the x value where the y value is 3, so I'm able to fill in this blank right here, which will then lead to that blank there. Okay, and so if you move that over, you're going to have 1/4 x cubed plus x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, and then this is something you can solve on your calculator. Okay. And if you solve that on your calculator, you get x equals 2. Okay, so I'm going to leave that a little bit up to you. So up here, then I know that this must be a 2, which means that must be a 2. And so what is the inverse evaluated at 3? Well, it is 2. Okay. And then the next question is, what is the value of the derivative of the inverse when x equals 3? Okay, so for part B, what I'm looking for is the inverse derivative at 3 equals something. Okay, well, I know that this must be the same thing, I'll just erase this, as 1 over the regular function's derivative at the corresponding x value, so that would be 2. Right, and this is something that I think is probably pretty easy for you to find. And so we can go ahead and say, what is the derivative? Well, let's see. I'm going to have 3/4 x squared plus 1. Okay, and I am going to evaluate that at 2. And so that would be like 3/4 times 2 squared plus 1. Okay, so that would be 4. Okay, so therefore, the inverse function evaluated when x equals 3 is going to be 1/4. All I had to do is basically use that information from that summary chart, and then you don't even need to know what the inverse function actually is.